What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing? It is week 13. The fantasy football playoffs are right around the corner. Are you lucky enough to be either in the playoffs or in playoff contention? It's me. It's your boy CLE. It's week 13. Derek, we've got quite a few decisions to make. And how is your playoff chase progressing right now?
Oh, we guaranteed a spot, baby. We 9-3.
There we go.
We're feeling good. I won't get a bye week though. The two guys in front of me are both only have one loss and they both have more points than me. So it is not possible for me to beat one of them as far as a bye week. But what I've always said, chat, just got to get in the dance.
Just
baby.
get
That's
in.
all.
That's all you have to do. Just get in. All right. So ahead, we're going to do. Also, we're going to dip our toe into daily fantasy for the first time this season. Nick is here. He says he's 10-2 in his fantasy league. So congratulations, Nick. Hopefully, we've played a little part in that, but you never know. So keep us here. We'll get to your questions as a little bit later in the show. As I said, we're going to do some daily fantasy for the first time, so I'm eager for that. But yeah, let us know how your team is doing, and let us know if we can help, and let's try to crowdsource some of these decisions together. But a little bit later, we'll do our daily fantasy. We'll try to give you a little bit of a. So, Derek, are we both going to pick a daily fantasy lineup, or are we just always going to do?
We're gonna go off of yours. But I'll make one for next week. I didn't make one for this week, but I'll make one for next week, and then we'll compare them.
All right. Well, it is by Mageddon this week in week 13. I don't like, Derek, that there's this many teams on bye. What do we got? 6 teams on bye? And look at some of the players we will not have available this week. I mean, just to name a few: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. I don't recall this many teams being on bye this late in the season. And or am I missing something?
No, I don't remember it. I've remembered there being a late bye, maybe for like a team, maybe two, but not this many teams, and not this many teams with this many prominent players.
Right.
I mean, you just saw the list right there, and there's still more that we didn't even put on the graphic. It's one of those things where there's some legitimate teams right now that are just not playing this week, and it stinks because if you are in a playoff race right now, this could be your make or break week, and if you're missing one of your key guys, that's just putting you at such a disadvantage. And I feel like they've got to change this because sports gambling and fantasy have just become, I mean, they're huge markets to the point now where things like this have to start being considered, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you have Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, I wonder what directions you're going this week. I mean, I do have Lamar Jackson in one of my leagues. I'm having to start Kyler Murray. The matchup isn't great. They're taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I feel like with Kyler Murray, the floor is a little bit, I feel like it's a good floor. I do not expect him to go off against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and we're going to talk about quarterbacks in just a second. But is there – I know in another league I'm having to go with Baker Mayfield, but I'm wondering –
Baker, Tutty Maker.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a couple of players – especially in the quarterback position that come to mind that people might be able to consider if they have Josh Allen, if they have Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm sure, like I said, these are quality managers. I'm sure that they've already prepared. But if they're sitting here Sunday a couple of hours before kickoff, are there a couple of other quarterbacks that come to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I've got Dak Prescott, so, I don't really worry about quarterback right now.
Yeah, you're good.
I got Brock Purdy just in case, so, But I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to sound homerish, but there's a reason for this. I really think Joe Flacco could be viable.
Oh, boy.
And it's,
now, hold on to your Joe Flacco take.
Thing. No,
just hold on. Thing. Yeah, because we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
We're going to get to Flacco. We're going to get to Flacco a little bit later, and there's a reason for that. Yeah, Roflo has a crazy. No, you guys are not going to. When he told me this, I literally couldn't believe it.
So we're going to give you a player when we get into our daily fantasy segment. A player that, I mean, when I heard what he does when Joe Flacco is his quarterback, I was
insane.
It is insane.
But I'd say honestly, if you've got, I would be looking at matchup quarterbacks this week. So, if you've got a team that's facing a pretty bad pass defense and they're available, that's kind of what I would be looking at, because a lot of the quarterbacks that are going to be available now are probably not going to be great anyways. So that's the thing that I'd probably be focusing on the most, is a matchup type thing.
Yeah. Captain Tripp says he's got Josh Allen, picked up Jordan Love. Jordan Love has been excellent, for the Green Bay Packers. And
they are playing Kansas City this week.
They are playing Kansas City. That is a very good defense, especially against the run. But, I mean, Jordan Love, you could certainly do a lot worse, for your quarterback position. I think there's a couple of other names. Like I said, Baker Mayfield, I like a lot. I think he's been a very, very solid fantasy quarterback for most of the season, and he really hasn't. I think he's flown under the radar a little bit. So, with that, with the quarterbacks, let's give you a start, bench, cut edition for Week 13. Quarterbacks only here. All right. So
QBs only.
Yeah. So speaking of Baker Mayfield, we got this one here. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jared Goff. Derek, who are you starting? Who are you benching? Who are you cutting for Week 13?
Holy. I think I got to start Baker because they're playing Carolina this week.
Yeah.
I got to bench Jared Goff, and I got to cut Kyler. I know you're starting him this week, but I mean, just the Pittsburgh matchup. As far as with these three QBs, I just trust him the least. So I'm gonna go Kyler on the cut against the Steelers.
Yeah, I think I might go. Jared Goff is so good at home. And I know they're on the road, but he loves playing indoors, man. And they are playing at New Orleans, and the Saints, I believe, are without Marshawn Lattimore. Like I said, I do have to start Kyler Murray. I think I might be with you. I think I would probably start Baker Mayfield. You know what? No. Let me start Kyler Murray, bench Baker Mayfield. I'll cut Jared Goff. I'm just going to go. I'm going to bank on Kyler Murray's floor and the rushing. He does have a rushing touchdown, I believe, in every game he's played this season since he's come back. So that has helped. It has not been fantasy bonanza, and we know the defense there in Pittsburgh is going to be really good. So, but give me Murray, Mayfield, and Goff. So
no, and Gorilla, you're not wrong. Carolina's secondary isn't terrible. It's just they're going to be out there for someone. This is what happens with Carolina: is the defense stays out there for so long because the offense is so inept that it turns into just a power of attrition, to where the Bucs are just going to be able to eventually start doing whatever. That's the way the plan has gone against Carolina all year. So that's the game plan that I'm planning on, and that's why I think that you could see Baker with 250, 2 touchdowns easily. With whatever Rachaad White's going to do. So
and also you do have to, I think it's going to be a big game for Mike Evans. The Carolina Panthers, I believe, play the second most amount of zone in the NFL, and Mike Evans is among the top 4 receivers in the league against zone. He went off the last time he played them. So if you have Mike Evans in your season long, you're feeling good, you're rolling with him, and he might be a really good daily fantasy pick for you as well. All right, let's move on.
Have to look at that price.
Yes, sir. Let's look at the price. Let's look at these 3 quarterbacks here: Kenny Pickett, Gardner Minshew, or your man Joe Flacco.
Playoff Joe, baby.
Joe Flacco getting the start today in Los Angeles for those Cleveland Browns. Derek, who are you starting? Who are you benching? Who are you cutting for Week 13?
All right. I think I'm going to start Gardner Minshew. They're playing Tennessee. Tennessee's secondary is atrocious. So we're gonna go Gardner Minshew. So if you got Michael Pittman, if you've got Josh Downs, good guys to have this week, I think. I'm gonna go Joe Flacco for bench. And I'm going to go cut Kenny Pickett. Listen, I don't trust Kenny Smallhands, all right, at all, okay? Yeah. So I can't go with him at all in any scenario whatsoever.
Well, I think I'm going to start. This is tough.
They did play better last week, though. I did like that they threw the ball down the field.
Down the middle. The middle of the field. I think.
So we'll see.
I think I'm going to cut Joe Flacco. I'm sorry. I'm going to start Ken Pickett, and I'm going to bench Gardner Minshew, but it's close. It is close between the two. The Arizona Cardinals, you're talking about teams that play a lot of zones. And hey, what's up, Brooks? Hey, Kevin Keegan watching on YouTube. I think this is going to be a big day for Pat Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson. I think this is a big day for the Steelers offense. And if Kenny Pickett does not throw 2 touchdown passes against this defense, then he should never, ever be drafted or considered in fantasy football. Because
I want to say this, though, with Pat Freiermuth. The Cardinals give up the 10th fewest fantasy points to tight ends.
Okay,
so just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I'm sorry.
No,
I saw it right there, and I didn't want to lose it in my head, so I wanted to get that out there.
So
that's on me.
That's definitely a good note. What's up, Slick? How you doing? Thanks for being a sub. You too, Gorilla Beastin. Good to see you. Yes, and Pittsburgh did hit 400 yards of total offense for the first time in forever. Now that Matt Canada is no longer the offensive coordinator. Okay, so we do know that, Derek, the fantasy playoffs will begin for most leagues, week 15? I know that there's some that maybe are beginning week 14, but you do have some buys. So you do have buys next week, as a matter of fact. So more often than not, it's week 15 for when your fantasy league is going to be, getting into the playoffs. So we thought we would give you a couple of players that maybe you stash, and depending on how sharp the rest of your league is, depending on how big your league is, roster settings, there's a whole lot of variables that we don't know, but we wanted to give you a couple of players that you should consider stashing, because if you're in the playoffs here, if you're in playoff contention, all you want to do is get in. If you're lucky enough, like Derek and a couple of others, that are already in the playoffs, that's when you're trying to fine tune the shortcomings of your roster. More often than not, your league has the trade deadline has come and gone, but you can still maybe add a couple of savvy playoff stashes that could help. I'm going to go first here. Let me
take it away.
Let's go here. What happened to our stash? Hold on. What's happened to our stash? What happened to our stash here? Hold on just a second. I think we forgot our stash here. Hold on. Did we do it?
Oh, no.
No, I got it right here. I got it right here. It's Tutu Atwell. Now, our man Louie, who does our graphics here and does a great job. Louie does an amazing job.
No, Louie is the man.
Louie created the graphic, and he spelled it Tutu Atwood. So just set that aside for a minute and consider Tutu Atwell of the Los Angeles Rams. Cooper Kupp is not right. Puka Nacua has kind of come back down to earth. And Tutu Atwell, or in this case, Tutu Atwood, he has, he has filled the void a little bit. This is clearly a situation where maybe your receiver gets hurt. Maybe you're really needing someone in the wide receiver 3 position. But Tutu Atwell is only rostered in 20% of Yahoo leagues. And look at the matchups he has for the rest of the way, starting in week 15.
Ooh.
The Washington Commanders, they're god-awful defensively. Week 16, the New Orleans Saints, they're pretty good defensively. But
without Marshawn Lattimore right now.
Without Marshawn Lattimore. And then in week 17, depending how long your playoffs go in your league, they take on the New York Giants. So Tutu Atwell could be a nice one for you, for someone to, like I said, put at the bottom of your roster. See what happens. Just like I said, a stash and hope. So,
and I'm sick, by the way. I had Tyler Higbee all year, and then I dropped him 2 weeks ago because I'm like, bro, they do not throw him the ball anymore. Yeah. And then of course he has 2 touchdowns last week. Like it's just the timing sometimes in fantasy is disgusting. Okay.
Yeah, I will say that I don't think that there's enough mouths to feed. I don't know if I trust Tyler Higbee moving forward. However, we do know that the tight end position has been very, very, it is bleak out there. So look, there's a couple of pretty good quality tight ends that are on bye this week. that I know people are going to probably have to roll with someone like Tyler Higbee. So clearly, you're hoping that he can give you the kind of performance that he gave you last week.
Well, I've got Evan Ingram and Pat Fryermuth, so
you're sitting nice.
We're pretty good.
You're
yeah,
sitting
like I'm
nice.
starting Evan Ingram this week over Pat Fryermuth because the Cincinnati Bengals give up the second most points to tight ends in the league. So
yeah, no, you know what? The other person I did not. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. The other guy to mention, and I forgot to insert the graphic here, Derek. So that's my fault. The guy you wanted to talk about was Romeo Dobbs.
Selling me, Chad.
I know. I'm a bad producer here.
No.
Bad producer. Romeo
Dobbs, yeah, he's coming up, and then obviously this week, like I said, they're playing Kansas City, but Jordan Love is starting to pick it back up again, and then starting in Week 14, their schedule is the New York Giants.
Yep.
The Tampa Bay Bucks, who have a terrible secondary.
Yep.
The Carolina Panthers, who we've already talked about, and then for most people, at least in mine, Week 17 is the championship. If you make it that far, they're playing Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to talk about a favorable schedule going into the playoffs, Romeo Dobbs is one of those guys.
Yeah.
And, with Jordan Love starting to pick it back up again, he could really see some production. And the thing is he's only had 2 weeks all season of less than 3 targets. He's averaging probably about 6 to 7 targets a game. So the volume is there to have looks. It's just about converting at this point now.
Yeah. Hi, William. Hi. Good to see you over on YouTube along with Kevin and Brooks. To your point, Derek. Now, look, I know we got a lot of smart players that are watching this right now. They probably have Romeo Dobbs on their roster, or he's already been picked up in their league. Understand that. Got it. But in Yahoo leagues, he's available in 46% of Yahoo leagues. I'm not sure why he's not more universally owned in leagues, because, as you said, the schedule sets up nice, man. They do have
at ESPN. He's available in 60% of leagues, guys.
Wow. Yeah. So there you go. Tutu Atwell, aka Tutu Atwood, and Romeo Dobbs, 2 guys that a little stash and hope as you get ready for the playoffs. Like I said, these aren't wide receiver ones, but moving forward, maybe you get an injury somewhere along the line. And speaking of injuries, we neglected to mention at the top of the show, and maybe we'll bring it up here. Zach Moss is back in the lineup for the Indianapolis Colts. There's no Jonathan Taylor. Yep. Now, I was able to pick him up in 2 leagues. I had the right waiver order position, and I got Zach Moss, and I immediately put him in a flex position in both of my leagues. What do you think? What are your expectations for Zach Moss for the Indianapolis Colts? Because when he was the guy to begin the season, Derek, he was a top 5 fantasy back.
Yeah, I think that. Well, so I think that he's going to have a decent day. The thing is that with Tennessee, their run defense isn't terrible, but their pass defense is horrendous. So I do think that they're going to be passing the ball a lot today.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that he can't get a couple catches out of the backfield. That's not to say that he's not going to have a rushing touchdown or anything like that. I think he has a pretty good day today, man.
Yeah, I like that. So shout out to those of you that got Zach Moss. It's a 2 to 3 week injury with Jonathan Taylor's thumb surgery. Selfishly, I'm hoping it's more 3 weeks as opposed to 2. but if you were lucky enough to pick up Zach Moss, I think he might be a top 5 running back this week. So definitely put him into your lineup. All right. So for the first time this season, Derek, we're going to do a little daily fantasy. Okay. Because, there's some people that unfortunately, their season-long teams didn't work out, but you can always have fun. Yeah. You can always have fun with fantasy football by playing some daily fantasy. So let's get into that right now here. Let me make sure I've got this here.
And bear with us on this, Chad. This is new for us that we're doing. We're trying to just incorporate a little bit more daily into it.
We're gonna try to build a fantasy lineup here. A daily fantasy lineup here. This is
the screen here.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're good. You're good.
DraftKings. This is for DraftKings. Okay, so we're going to give you what we think is a really good lineup to go with here, and then feel free to weigh in. Let us know what you think. I think at the quarterback position, obviously you're going to have to pay for him. He is the fourth most expensive quarterback right now on DraftKings, Derek. And I think for me, it's Tua Tagovailoa.
See, I think value-wise, Brock Purdy is the play here.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think value-wise, Brock Purdy is the play here. He's only 6,100. They're playing the Eagles, who have one of the worst secondaries in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think Brock Purdy would be the play for me, chat. What do you guys think?
Let me give you my running backs here. I'm going to go with the aforementioned. Let me find him here. Zach Moss.
I agree, Gorilla. I think Purdy has a big day today.
He's at 4,600. I like that value there, and I like Devin Singletary against the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are playing much better. They've won 5 in a row. I'll give you our picks when we do our pick 'em in just a second, but I still think that run defense can be had. Yes, the Broncos are turning people over and getting turnovers like at a big rate, but I'm going to go with, I think Devin Singletary can have a big day for the Houston Texans. So
I think the chat is voting for Purdy, by the way.
Okay, all right. Even I hope the chat has seen how bad the Washington Commanders defense is. I mean, they have no pass rush.
Well, it's a value. It's a value play. It's a value play because right now your average remaining is $5,200 per person. Where if you get Purdy, he's $6,100. So you just saved $1,800 right there.
All right. So at wide receiver, I'm going to go Michael Pittman. I think he has a huge day against the Tampa Bay Bucks.
I think Brandon Ayuk has a big day today, but that's just me.
And then at wide receiver, I'm going to go with the man that some men call him Skinny Batman, Devontae Smith. He is at 7,300. So I'm paying up for these two receivers, but
Devontae Smith.
But here's where I get the bargain: Elijah Moore of the Cleveland Browns. Now listen to this stat here for Elijah Moore. In his career, fantasy points per route run with Joe Flacco, 1.12. Without Joe Flacco, 0.25. This is an Elijah Moore game today. What are we thinking? I'm
loving the Elijah Moore pay, and that is a crazy stat. That's the stat that I was talking about earlier, chat. I think that's a crazy stat. And I'm with you, Gorilla. I'm actually making a lineup right now on FanDuel that has Purdy and Ayuk because I am a firm believer in that combo today.
At tight end, I'm going to go Pat Freiermuth. I think.
Hold on. Go back to tight ends. Hold on. I didn't see him.
Okay.
Let's look at the value real quick. Let's look at the values.
Well, wait. Do you want to do your own? I thought you were doing your own, too. No?
No. We're just doing one together.
Okay.
We're just doing one together.
All right. So at tight end, let me get you there. Obviously, I'm not paying up for Kelsey. I think Kittle has a huge day. Dalton Schultz is out. Trey McBride, I love him season long.
I think Evan Ingram might be the play here.
Evan Ingram at 4,500. See, Ingram is $200 more expensive than Pat Freiermuth. So, but I like it. I like Evan Ingram a lot. I think David Njoku has a chance to do something there. He's at 4,100. I refuse to be in the Kyle Pitts business ever again. Season long, daily, whatever. I can't take it.
He said, I refuse.
I cannot take it. All right. At the flex position, I'm going to go with, now look, we do know that the New England Patriots offense has been absolutely atrocious. I mean, god-awful. But I think Ramondre Stevenson has been a steady fantasy back. I think that this game I think they do have a chance to run on the Los Angeles Chargers. So give me Ramondre Stevenson in the flex position at $6,000, and that leaves me with $3,400 left for a defense. The Atlanta Falcons are my defense at $3,400. They're taking on the New York Jets. I live in the general vicinity of that stadium, and it is rainy outside. It is miserable. It is gray. And the New York Jets offense is terrible in supreme conditions, much less terrible ones like this. So that's the lineup. Tungavailoa, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, Michael Pittman Jr., Devontae Smith, Elijah Moore, Pat Freiermuth, Ramondre Stevenson, and the Atlanta Falcons defense. So what are we thinking there?
I like it. I have the Falcons defense on my fantasy team today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it, Chad. I like it. I think it looks good.
And you were thinking, let me go back here. You were thinking that you might like who? Give me some other. You mentioned Brock Purdy. So
I like Purdy.
Okay. Purdy is at 6,100.
Here, yeah, I can make one real quick too. Let's do this. I'll just make one real quick.
Yeah.
That's fine. So let's go Purdy.
Yep.
Let's go at least for what are we looking at? Running back. Let's go.
By the way, Devon Achane is expected to play. He had no injury designation for this week's game. I am not starting him, luckily, because in that
I'm
league,
not either.
I have him in that league that I just picked up Zach Moss. I'm rolling with Zach Moss instead of Devon Achane. I can't have a zero. I can't run the risk of having a zero at this time of the year for one of my players. Now, if you have no other options, then okay, you feel pretty good, somewhat good, that there's no injury designation and you're holding your fingers are crossed that he's not going to screw you like he did a couple of weeks ago and got re-injured.
And let me tell you this. This is why Brock Purdy is such a value play. On FanDuel, he costs $7,800.
All right.
He is $6,100 on DraftKings right now. You better take Brock Purdy. That is
all right. Who do you want
at running?
Who do you want at one of your running backs?
At running back,
I'm staying away from Eckler. McCaffrey against the Eagles. You're obviously paying up for that, $9,000. I don't like Derrick Henry. Travis said.
I think I like Moss at the value. I think I like Rachaad White.
Okay, you like Moss. I do. Okay, so let's go Moss there. And I love Rachaad White today. So
let's go Moss, Singletary, and then in our flex we'll probably have Rachaad White.
Oh, you did like Singletary. Okay.
Yep.
Singletary is at 5,900. And then in the flex, you said you want Rachaad White. Oh, Rachaad White is at 6,300. This is DraftKings, of course. Okay, so did you say you like Michael Pittman or no?
How much is Bijan Robinson?
Bijan Robinson is
he a better value?
He is 6,700, excuse me.
Yeah, no, I'll stick with I think they all have around the same day.
Okay.
I'll stick with that. Take out Smith. I'll keep Elijah Moore because I like that stat.
Okay.
So take out Smith, take out Freiermuth.
Okay. No Smith, no Freiermuth.
For Freiermuth, let's put Ingram there.
Evan Ingram, 4,500. A little bit more expensive, but certainly has a chance to be really good. And
let's see. For receiver, I like Brandon Ayuk.
Okay.
He's 7,200.
Yep.
So that's fine.
Yep. $1,400 remaining. You're under $1,400.
Yeah, we got some money.
So you got a little bit of money.
Let's look at the other receivers. Let's look at these high end receivers.
Okay.
Who
are you getting rid of? Michael Pittman?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the one.
You can be in the neighborhood.
You know what? Do we have Tyreek money? No, you
don't. No, you don't. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown money. You have Jamar Chase.
8,500.
Jamar Chase is a no for me. I do not trust Jake Browning, and I'm not.
Maybe
at 8,100
maybe
bucks.
Jalen Waddle.
Can I interest you in Mike Evans? But I think either one are good. Mike Evans or Jalen Waddle.
You know what? Let's go Mike Evans. Let's go Mike Evans.
All right.
Let's go Mike Evans.
So there you go. And you have.
I'd like to pay up. I'd like to pay up for Tyreek, but I don't know where the value's coming from. I'd have to replace Rachaad White.
Well, you could replace Evan Ingram, because if you replace Evan Ingram, then you could get into. I think you could get into. No, you can't get into Tyreek Hill. Okay. All right.
No, that's putting us at 8,700.
Yep.
We would need 90, so we would need 900. So I would pretty much either have to I would have to get rid of Ayuk probably to get Tyreek.
Okay. All right.
All right. We like that, though. We like that.
There you go. All right. Well, hopefully that helped you a little bit. I would love to hear Gorilla Beastin. I'd love to hear what you guys think for a daily fantasy. So, William, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing great. Okay, so let's. Why don't we get into some chat questions here, shall we?
Let's get it.
Hi, Jody. Let's see. Yeah. Jody says, if I'm so confident Eckler will have a big game that if he doesn't, I'll buy gift subs for y'all. Okay, Jody.
Oh, man.
All right, we'll see.
Jody's already been going crazy, by the way. Can we just get some love for Jody in the chat real quick?
Jody is definitely an MVP, no doubt. Okay, let's see if we've got any. Do we
get some questions?
Yeah,
going.
let's see if
Any
we
on
can get
YouTube?
some. Here we go, Jeremy. Thanks for being a sub, man. Oh, also, are you on your Facebook page?
No, I'm not today.
Oh, okay.
I'm not today.
All right. Jeremy asking, let's see, Zeke Elliott, Tajay Spears, or Royce Freeman. I have to pick up one.
I'm gonna go live right now, though. Actually,
man, that is, as the kids say, that is nasty work, man. I don't think that there's enough to support another running back there in New England. Tajay Spears, I mean, good grief. I don't even know what to say. It might be Royce Freeman. It might. I mean, good Lord, sir. Jeremy, how big is your league, man? I feel bad for you.
I'll say Elliott.
Okay.
I'll say Elliott.
All right, let me see. I think it's Tajay Spears, but it's not appetizing, man. It could be one of those where you hold your nose and go to Tajay Spears. Josiah, thanks for being a sub. Do I think Michael Pittman Jr. gets a touchdown today? I do, Josiah. I that's why we kind of brought up Gardner Minshew. You like Minshew today, right, Derek?
Yeah. I think the Colts could have a big day today in the air.
Yeah. So I think you got to feel pretty good about having Michael Pittman Jr. in your lineup. And what's the? I'm drawing a blank on his teammate. You got to feel pretty good about having him in there as well. Josh Downs. I think if you have Josh Downs, he's a pretty good flex option, or maybe wide receiver 3, depending on what the settings of your league are. Hi, TJ. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. That's our guy, Louie, who does a really good job with our logos.
Does all the graphics. He's the man. Facebook, if you've got any questions for us on fantasy, type them in the chat. Me and Rofo will answer them.
Yeah. Here we go.
We got Christian Kirk or Adam Thielen, says Captain Trips.
Christian Kirk or Adam Thielen. I think the Adam Thielen experiment or resurgence, however you want to call it, I think it's over. I can't trust him. That offense is so god awful. He's so bad that I don't even remember who the other person was. Did he say Christian Kirk?
Yeah. He said, I don't
remember who it was. I'm going to go Christian Kirk. Now, I know that Thielen is ranked higher. I'm looking at ESPN rankings right now. But like I said, I just can't trust it anymore. So I'll go Christian Kirk plus the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, they're not very good right now. So I might go Christian Kirk. What about you?
Yeah, it's close. I might lean Thielen just because I don't know. The Bucks game actually might be close. I don't know. I'll lean Thielen on this one.
Okay.
But I don't think starting Christian Kirk would be a terrible idea if these are the two options you have. What's up, Kyler? Appreciate you coming through.
We've got this one from Jody. The 49ers defense against the Eagles, against the Tampa Bay defense against the Panthers. I mean, at first blush, it sounds like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, the 49ers, the Eagles, that they can score. I think this game has a chance to be a little bit of a shootout, even though it is supposed to rain yet again in Philadelphia. But if I had to choose between the two, I'll go Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Tampa Bay there. I think that's the 49ers-Eagles game could turn into a high-scoring affair at some point. So, yeah, I'm going to go Tampa Bay.
Let's see if we got we did
any
have
questions on Facebook. Let me know, chat.
Yeah, if you're watching on Derek's Facebook page, be sure to weigh in there. We did have someone asking about the college football playoff.
College football predictions. Well, I think Michigan and Washington are surely in.
I think Texas is in.
I don't know if Texas is in.
Texas
And
is
I don't
in.
know if Florida State is in.
Texas is in because if Alabama, I mean, Texas beat Alabama at their place. So
I understand. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to come down to if they keep Georgia in the top 4, if they bring Bama all the way up from 8.
I think the question is whether or not they decide they want to keep Florida State. Because Florida State, as it stands now, as they're presently constructed, they're not one of the best 4 teams in college football.
No, just because.
But to your point, they are a conference champion. So what do you do with that?
But the quarterback situation is what just.
I agree.
It's extenuating circumstances that I feel like they're just not going to let them in there.
Yeah.
So
Gorilla Beasting. I mean, the SEC. Look, the SEC is. I know people hate to hear it, but the SEC is the best football conference in America. So their champion should be in. The Big Ten champion should be in. The ACC champion, I don't know.
Unless it was Clemson from a few years ago.
I don't know. I don't know. This one from Captain Trips: Amari Cooper, Chuba Hubbard, or Elijah Moore at the flex. Now, obviously, no DTR, Derek. You know this. Joe Flacco, as we talked about, he's getting the start.
Playoff Flacco.
I think that helps all their pass catchers. But look, Flacco is not. I mean, this is, we're not saying that he is Joe Flacco with the Baltimore Ravens. We're not talking elite Joe Flacco. I do think it helps Amari Cooper. Jeez.
I think it helps Amari, but remember, Elijah Moore, that's your boy.
Yeah, I know. I think in this case, I would rank them this way: Cooper, Moore, and Chuba Hubbard. I just, like I said, I'm out on any of the.
I'm on the same ranking.
On any of the Carolina Panthers. They are just hard to watch.
Let me throw this out there.
They did make a big change, so we'll see.
Let me throw this out there for the college football thing. And then this isn't going to happen, and I wouldn't even want it to happen as an Ohio State fan. We don't deserve it because Kyle McCord is ass. But could you imagine the money that would be made if you had Ohio State and Michigan play each other in the playoffs? If you had Michigan 1, Ohio State 4, or you know what I mean? And that's not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. Ohio State doesn't deserve that spot. But could you imagine that? Like, that would be the most watched, highest grossing game ever, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Goddard. He is listed as doubtful, Josiah. So I don't think that he is. I'm almost certain that he is not going to play. And that is that a late kickoff? Is that in the 4:00 window?
Chuba, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
4:05.
I mean, I would be really, really wary of Dallas Goedert. I think maybe next week is probably a better spot for him and a better spot for you to put him in your lineup. So I think it would be really wary. Let's see. Who else?
What's up, Buddha?
What do we got here?
So what? So Roflo thinks it's going to be Texas. So he's probably got what? Texas, Bama at 3-4.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm glad I don't have to make the decision.
Yeah.
Any other value? Let's see. We had a daily fantasy question as far as value at running backs. I don't know if we have any. Let's see, value running backs we like.
We're gonna pick the games a little bit later, Corey. I see the Packers Chiefs thing. We make predictions a little bit later, so be on the lookout for that.
Najee Harris could be interesting. 5,200 against the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, if you're looking for, like I said, for a value, so.
Everybody's on the FSU thing now. See, we opened up a can of worms. Now I've got everybody in my chat is saying. Some people are saying FSU needs to make it because they're undefeated, and some are saying you don't have your quarterback. You don't.
I know. I don't really know what the right answer is. It's very difficult. Taysom Hill. Josiah says he traded for Taysom Hill today, or before the Goddard injury. I like Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill's a good pickup. Yeah,
especially
he does so much at that tight end spot.
Especially today with this many teams on bye, Taysom Hill could be an interesting play for you. And also, what is the other tight end name? I'm drawing a blank there. In New Orleans,
Jawan Johnson.
Jawan Johnson. I think he could be an interesting play for you today. I'm trying to see if he's available.
He's available in my league right now. Yeah.
Let's see.
He's available in mine.
Juwan Johnson is only rostered in 33.5% of Yahoo leagues. So depending how desperate you are and depending on what your needs are, Juwan Johnson, like Derek said, could be quite interesting. Fortnite stream? No, I don't think so. I don't do the Fortnite. You know this, Rizzo.
65-7 last time a deserving teammate. You're not wrong, Buddha. You're not wrong. This is the college football playoff this year is so crazy, and it made it worse when Georgia lost to Alabama yesterday. Because now it's and then the FSU game. Let's be honest, that was not a fun game to watch. That neither of those teams looked good. So I don't know what you got. I don't know what you do with it.
I don't know why I have to keep watching Iowa.
Well, they have all of the good Big Ten teams in one conference. It doesn't make any sense.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's god awful. Get them off my TV.
For the Facebook people, Roflo said, "I don't know why I have to keep watching Iowa every year."
I mean, I hate it. I hate it. You have any other questions on your Facebook page?
Let's see if we got any questions.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Literally, my entire chat is college football playoff. We hit a nerve with the college football playoff thing.
Yes, we did.
People
Hi, Jay.
are going nuts.
Thanks for watching on YouTube. Okay, do we want to go through the pick'em here?
Spencer asks, "What do you think Joe Flacco does today, Roflo?"
I'll put Joe Flacco's numbers. I say he throws for two touchdowns and 224 yards passing.
Spencer, Roflo's got him for 2 tutties, 224 yards passing. I kind of like that.
Wow,
I'd be okay with those numbers as long as the running game is moving.
Now that I said it, it doesn't sound right, but hey, I could, maybe I'm buying too much into the quote unquote Joe Flacco
it's gonna
hype.
get filled up. The ornaments are starting. Jody's got like 4 ornaments on here already. I'm gonna put the tree topper on here eventually. All right, you guys gotta bear with me for a little bit, okay? You guys know I move slow on this type of stuff, man. Come on.
Gorilla Beast.
Gorilla says I knew that was coming.
How many interceptions? Yeah, I think he might throw. He throws at least one. He throws at least one. Okay, so let's get into the pick'em here. We've started to keep track as of a couple of weeks ago.
No, Rofo is whooping my butt. I don't believe the last week's score, chat, but
I'm telling you.
We're going with it.
First of all, you picked the Texans to win. I told you they'd lose. You also picked the Raiders to win.
Didn't they almost win?
They did. You did have some very close ones.
I picked the Vikings. They lost.
Yes.
I picked the Chargers. They lost.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking at this now, and maybe this is more. I picked the Browns. They lost. The Raiders. Okay, yeah. This was okay. It was a bad week.
Yeah.
It was a bad week.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, here. Okay. One more for B Ryder. This is actually a good question. Rashee Rice, Jerome Ford, or McBride? Wait, who?
Tyler McBride.
Oh, Tyler. Oh, the tight end.
Yeah.
Oh, I that's really risky. I don't like putting tight ends in that flex position if I can avoid it.
It's Ford for me. It's Jerome Ford for me.
I think it's either Rice or Ford. I'm gonna lean. Damn. Gosh darn.
Buddha, you having a tough morning, my dude.
That is tough. That is a real tough one. I think I might lean Rice. But let me see here. Let me take a look here.
Rice isn't bad. Rice isn't a pair. It's between Rice or Ford, in my opinion. But I'm taking Ford.
Yeah, I think I'm taking.
We got
Ford.
Stevie, Chris.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. But when it's that close, I like to lean towards the running back because I think they get more opportunities. So I'll go with Jerome Ford as well. McBride, Gorilla Beasting is going to play. At least that's the expectation. So as you get closer to kickoff, be sure to monitor all the insiders and stuff. But they're thinking that McBride is on track to play. So
T. Ingram, appreciate you coming in. What's up, everybody? If you guys have any fantasy questions over here on the Facebook side, let us know.
Yep.
While we're going through these picks.
Okay, Chargers, Patriots, bleh, from Foxborough. It's Bailey Zappi time. The Chargers look. I'm not even a Chargers fan. I'm a somewhat of a Chargers fan because I've always loved their uniforms. They are so frustrating. If any game is like decided between 3 points and they're playing in it, you know that they're going to lose. But they will not lose to the Patriots. The Chargers will win in Foxborough.
No. Yeah, Chargers are winning that. I think we all get frustrated because we all realize how good this team could be, and then we realize that Staley is just literally might be the worst coach in the NFL. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like all of us are kind of lightweight pulling for the Chargers a little bit to not be so butt. So yeah, I'll go with the Chargers. They can't lose to the Patriots.
Okay.
Chris, before we get into the next one, Chris asks, would you start Rice or would you start Pickens in Pittsburgh today?
Ooh.
That's a good question. That's a good question, Chris.
That is a good question. I think I might go Rice. Rice. I think I'm going to go with Rice there.
It's in Green Bay.
I'm going to go Rashee Rice.
No, I'm going to go Pickens. I'm going to trust that the Steelers are going to continue to throw the ball like they did last week without Matt Canada there. And I'm going to go Pickens. I'm going to go Pickens there.
All right. B. Ryder asking, do the Chargers fire their coach if they lose to the – look, if they lose to the Patriots, they should just leave Staley there. Just tell him to find his own way home because that's ridiculous. That would be ridiculous. Lions Saints in New Orleans.
Okay.
Lions haven't played since Thanksgiving. I'll take the Detroit Lions today.
I am also taking the Lions.
Okay, let me make sure I'm writing this down. We're both Lions and Chargers. Falcons Jets in the Meadowlands. It's going to be rainy. Man, I don't know. Hi, Chronic Fan. Thanks for being a sub. Their quarterback Boyle is so bad, Derek. He's so bad.
Believe me, I know. Like I honestly feel like the Jets could win this game.
I'm gonna go Falcons, man. I'm just gonna go Falcons. Right,
dude. I'm gonna go Jets.
Okay.
And it's not even. I think this is a low scoring game to begin with.
Yeah.
But I think the Jets defense is better than the Falcons defense, obviously. And I don't have any faith in Desmond Mitter. That's what we call him now, by the way, Desmond Mitter. Great Dane knows all about that. So
that's funny.
I am not. Now I will say Bijan Robinson's. If they get him the ball more, it could be a long day. But I'm gonna go Jets, man.
Okay. All right. That's where that's the first time we differ. Steelers and Cardinals. I'm going Steelers at home. They're not losing to the Cardinals at home.
Yeah, I'm going Steelers. Unfortunately,
I know that hurts you. That hurts you. Colts and Titans in Tennessee.
I'm going Colts. I'm going Colts.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colts too. Dolphins, Commanders in the nation's capital. Dolphins for you.
Yep.
I'm not even going to ask you. Broncos, Texans. I'll take the Broncos. Texans aren't quite ready.
He hates his team. He hates his own team.
I like where they're at. They're just not quite ready to make that next step. This is the process, and they've gone from totally ridiculous and laughing stock of the league to now a competent NFL franchise. They aren't ready for the playoffs yet. The Broncos are with Peyton and let Russ cook.
No, I'm taking Texans.
You're taking the Texans. Okay. All right.
I'm going to ride with the Texans if Roflo won't, okay?
Hey,
CJ we trust.
That's a surprising stat from Gorilla Beast. The Titans are undefeated at home this season. Wow.
Are they really?
Wow. I did not know that. That's a good job out of you.
Dang, maybe I picked wrong there.
Panthers, Bucks in Tampa. I'll go with the Bucks.
I'm also going with the Bucks.
Okay.
They need this win anyways because they have to stay in the division fight, and they have to with this win.
Browns and Rams in L.A. I think this is the toughest game to pick. I really do.
This is the toughest game.
I think it is so difficult.
This might be a 17-13 ball game right here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I'm
gonna take. I'll take the Rams just because I know you're going to take the Browns.
So the reason I'm taking the Browns is because Amari Cooper said today or the other day in practice. Watching Flacco throw the ball is like poetry in motion, he said. I don't know where that's coming from. He said it was beautiful. I don't think you're saying that unless you're feeling pretty good about getting the ball.
I don't think Amari Cooper knows the phrase "beautiful poetry in motion." I don't think he's using it correctly.
I don't think he's using it with Joe Flacco. So I'm going to trust it, and I know our defense is better, so I'm going to trust it.
That makes sense.
We are missing Denzel Ward. But I'm going to go with the Browns.
Yeah, I understand your thinking. I understand. 49ers, Eagles at the link. It is going to be raining. I'm going to go Philly here. I'm going to go Philly.
I was going to go Philly. Now he's making – I got to make up some games here is the thing, chat. So I can't go with him on everything.
You go take Philly. I'll take the Niners. All
right. I'm taking
Philly.
I'm taking Philly.
Chiefs, Packers, Sunday night from Lambeau Field.
Chiefs.
All right, I'll go Packers. Give you a chance to make a.
Oh, let's go. Okay, Roflo.
All right, and then Monday Night Football, Jags, Bengals in Jacksonville. Give me the Jags.
I think we're both taking the Jags there. That's for sure.
Yeah. I see what you did there, TJ. That is excellent. That is excellent. Very good.
Listen. The only reason you guys say anything is because you see how just dominant and amazing this mustache is. So I don't hate it at all. Like, I love it. Keep them coming.
We did say we did have someone Jay on YouTube did say that he thinks Cooper Kupp is going to have a big day. I'm a little wary of Cooper Kupp, and as I detailed earlier, I think we're seeing the beginning of the end for Cooper Kupp. So,
and James on my side is asking Flacco or Herbert.
I mean, come on. Let's not get crazy.
Let's not get crazy now. But I think Joe can have a good day. James, I know you're Browns, so I think Joe can have a good day.
I mean, don't overthink it. And here's one more piece of advice for you. Don't make a change right before kickoff. Set your lineup now, and then put the phone down and then enjoy it. Just don't be like me. Whenever I make a late change, I try to.
It never works out.
It never works out. Ever works out. Yeah, Justin Herbert against the Patriots in New England. Who knows? It's probably raining, but I don't think it matters there. So, okay. Do we have
the thing with the Eagles for me, and we've talked about this, but the thing with the Eagles for me is that when you're playing them, you're not playing 1st and 10 every drive or every set of downs. It's 1st and 8. Like, because if they get within 2 yards, they can get a first down at will. So it's one of those things where it's like they're just so hard to beat. I know their secondary is terrible, but they are just so hard to beat because of the advantages they have on the offensive side that it's just really tough for me to pick against them right now. That's why I go with the Eagles in a lot of these.
I'm trying to fix our graphic here on the fly.
Oh, you're good.
I don't know.
Not another fantasy show looking real nice, Chad.
There we go.
I'm gonna tell Austin Eckler will be big today. Hey,
now what do you define as a big? What do you define as a big game, Jody?
What's a big game so we know? Because you talked about subs and stuff, so I need to know, like, what is a big game? Like, what's a big game? The tush push is gonna be illegal next year. It might, but for this year, they're gonna use that every week.
Oh yeah.
So they might tush push their way to a Super Bowl.
I feel like it should be illegal. That's just
so they had like rugby players come in and like teach them how to do that, and then 3 of their offensive linemen have played rugby before, so it's like
that's pretty good.
It's you know what I mean. It's one of those things where it's like it's kind of a disadvantage for everybody else because nobody else is bringing in a rugby team like that.
All right, everyone. I think that's going to do it. Unless you got some more, questions on your end.
No, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, says B Rider.
For Austin Eckler, that would be a big game in my eyes.
So Hutch says about 125 combined yards and at least 1 touchdown.
Okay. How didn't Cam Newton? I think the ship has sailed on Cam Newton.
That awkward moment when you offer strangers your compliment on their mustache.
Although,
listen, I said it. I appreciate it, OG.
I will be interested to see what Flacco looks like today. So
I will be too, and that's a 4. Now remember, that's a 4:00 game. I hate that when the Browns play at 4. I hate it. So not fun. I don't feel like they play well on the West Coast, so it's gonna be a tough one. We'll see.
All right, everyone, that's going to do it. We will be back with you next week. Hope you have a great Sunday. Enjoy it, and we will see you next Sunday. Good luck to your teams. Good luck to your daily fantasy squads. The whole thing. Captain Jody, TJ, B Ryder, Jay.
Everybody. You guys are awesome.
William, Kevin. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for checking in, and we will see you later. Have a good one.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.
Bye. And we are